Welcome to the recorded lesson on the English language paper 2, question 3. This is going to be a very short lesson. I won't spoil the surprise now, but in a couple of slides we will find out why it will be a very short recorded lesson. Let's just remind ourselves of the exam paper. We're looking at the two sources, the extract from the Laurie Lee piece of writing about Aberfan and a Victorian newspaper article about an earthquake that hit Great Britain. Here's what your question looks like. You now need to refer only to source A from lines 27 to 40. How does a writer use language to describe the cold tips? This is worth 12 marks. You should be in and out of here in 12 minutes, a maximum 14 minutes, with the constant reminder that any extra time you use here, you may gain an extra mark or two. Well done you, but it will probably mean that you lose far more marks later on, particularly in question 4 and 5 when you are getting short of time. The reason this is going to be a pretty short lesson. Here is the question, paper 2, question 3. Here is paper 1, question 2. What do you notice? Well, they're effectively the same question. There are some differences which I'll talk about on the next slide, but these are both language questions. They are asking you to identify language methods, to quote those language methods, and to find the effects of those methods and quotations. If therefore you want to be good at paper 2 question 3 and you're not sure how to be, go back and listen to the recorded lesson on paper 1 question 2, where I go into a lot more detail about how to answer these questions. There are though a few things that are just worth considering that are specific about paper 2 question 3. Let's have a look at them. Well, the obvious one is the question on paper 2 question 3 is worth more marks. You've got 12 marks here as against 8 marks, so you should write more, and it's probably one paragraph more, about 4 or 5 minutes more. A bit of an administrative difference, but you have to go searching for the part of the source yourself. Now obviously you're very disciplined because you've been trained well. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to put a box around the bit that you're looking at, remembering that if you quote from outside that box, or if you talk about things from outside that box, you are not going to be able to be credited for it. Paper 1 question 2, you get that nice little box done for you. They're very easy on you. Paper 2 question 3, you have to go and find it yourself. The section also tends to be longer. You've got more time, you're expected to write a bit more, you're given a bit more to write it on. Now, the approach that we taught you for paper 1 question 2 was to find language-rich phrases. That sometimes works fine on paper 2, but what we've tended to notice is that sometimes you might want to use a wider range of quotations. There aren't always as neat little language-rich phrases that you can use that you can base your whole answer around, and sometimes you might within a paragraph kind of quote 2 or 3 different things from different parts of the box within your source that you are working from. Now, of course, you already know how to answer this question. The formula and the model really is exactly the same, as long as you just keep in mind that that point 4 above here. But otherwise, you know how to answer this question. So the thing to do is just to have a go at it. Here's the extract. Here's the box around the bit of the source that you're interested in. How does the writer use language here? Have a go at it. write out your answer, take it to your teacher, and they will be able to provide you a little bit of feedback.